So I'm going to show you the plants that I got on the way up here to the cottage to plant in our cottage garden here in Gaylord, Michigan. I got some great deals. It's September, so there's some clearance items, and they're maybe not the prettiest at this time, so you got to have a little imagination, but let me show you. This is what I'm going to plant this time here at the cottage. When I get it all done, I'll do a tour, and we'll have a look at the cottage garden in September. We found a new nursery in just outside of Frankenmuth in Saginaw, Abeles. It was very nice, but we checked out their clearance and found 3 shrubs, $10 each. I'm pretty excited about that. This is a Beyond Midnight or Bluebeard, and I've never had one of these before, but the bees just love it. It's sitting here and it's covered in bees. And it's hard to find blue plants, drought resistant, and $10. How can you go wrong for that? This one here is very interesting. I've never heard of it or seen it before. It's called a Sister Disco Scotch Broom. Let's see, Scotch Broom, zones 5 to 8, so we're in 5, grows 1 to 3 feet, so 3 feet by 3 feet, dry, well-drained soil, and it is deer resistant. Both of these are deer resistant, which is pretty important to me here. It says it blooms in spring, and it has some kind of yellow blooms on it, and I'm pretty excited to see what this thing does. And again, $10. So the next one for $10 is our Rise Up Iberness Rose. It's a shrub rose, but can be a bit of a climber. I don't know where I'm going to put this, but it's got a beautiful peachy color, which obviously we're out of season, and that's why I got a good deal on it. But I'm going to give it a shot. I think especially with the blue background here of the house, that a nice peachy color should stand out nice. All right, so down here I got more clearance. My Artemisia, Silver Mound Artemisia, I already have 2 of these, but the spot that I put them in, they're overgrown, and I'll show you when I do my tour. But I figured I'm going to dig them up and put them in a spot that they can grow as big as they want, and I'm going to add another one to it. So I was lucky enough to find that for $4 at Myers. So this one is a sedum, obviously. I wanted an Autumn Joy to balance out another one, but this one is called Brilliant. I got it at Lowe's. Brilliant Sedum. We'll see what the difference is. All right, Walmart, I got some yellow trumpet daffodils. And at Menards, I got some Tet. I love these. Cute little ones. And then a crocus mix also there. But I'm really excited about the Sam's Club. We stopped and got these alliums. There's 40 of them for $20. And my plan is with the alliums is to hopefully get them around the gardens, to the smell of them, to help with the deer. We'll see if it helps with the deer. I do have some Millennium perennial alliums in the garden, and I'm not sure if they're helping or not, but we seem to be doing a little better. I'd like to take you on a tour of our cottage garden here in Gaylord, Michigan. I got the plants that I picked up on the way here planted, and I'll show you where they are. This year I planted a lot of lilacs, and I'm excited to see how they're going to do for spring. Of course, it's September, where all gardeners are thinking about springtime. Planted some bulbs. The bulbs, about 80 bulbs. I wish I'd have got more crocuses, but I haven't seen any crocuses grow up here. I planted my alliums. I tried to put them behind a lot of my lilies to cover up the foliage when it comes up. I did that with some with the daffodils, but daffodils were the lion's share of the bulbs that I planted. Of course, you can't see those on a tour yet till spring. We'll have to wait till spring to see how they do, and I'm excited for that. But let's have a look at my garden. I'll start at the front of the house. Start with our dogwoods. I know these dogwoods, if I cut them every year, they'd have nice red stems, but I just love the shape of them. They have turned color just since we have been here. And I'd love to get some lights to shine up. I just love the way that they're growing. I'll try to keep that. I did transplant a geranium here. I had 2 in a spot, and I'll show you where that was, that they were like way too much for the spot. So I pulled one out and put it here. It's obviously stressed, but it seems to be picking back up. So I look forward to the geraniums just spilling out underneath these dogwoods. This is an autumn joy sedum. Autumn joy sedums are the flowers. My husband and I got married in September, and I made all of our bouquets and boutonnieres out of it. So they're special to me. I like to add them when I can. This is a drift rose that I just got at Myers, and that flower just bloomed for us today. So they're brand new. They haven't been here very long. I hope they'll spill out. I don't worry about them getting too big because I can make this garden as big as I want. I got a new sedum for this side because I thought it would balance out nicely here. This one is not an autumn joy though. It's a brilliant, and I don't know the difference, but we're going to find out. Lavender. Here's another one of our red drift rose. And I just love those tiny little flowers. They look so pretty. This garden's tough because it's more shade than I expected. So I will be shuffling things around. I put a Miss Kim lilac in here. I've been very surprised at the autumn color that I get from it. Very nice. Around the corner over here, I've got this Wigila. Love the chartreuse color that it gives me. And it's blooming again. Beautiful. I've got a couple of lilacs here. There's one there and one over there. I don't know if you can see that. These are the Beauty of Moscow, and they are already budding up. Look at that. This is the first year. So this is what I wanted to see, is some buds to see if we get some blossoms in the spring. So I am really looking forward to that. There's more Miss Kims over there. Look at that nice purple color. I think I planted some bulbs around there. I dug more holes than I needed bulbs, so I kind of forgot where I put them. Over here we got these double knockout roses. There is 1, 2, 3 of them. And they're coming in. This is all a brand new garden here. So I'm excited to see how it comes. Everything I'm putting in, almost everything I'm putting in has survived. I love lemon coral sedum, but it won't grow up here. But this is Angelina sedum, and I put it in quite a few spots, and it's hanging in there. So I'm excited to see that nice and full and lush. Cat's Meow Nepeta, Stella d'Oro lily. I had put in some bare root peonies and lilies, but nothing came up. I got them late in the season. So here's more of the Angelina. These are so pretty, and they'll get big. I hope it'll just fill in and be a nice chartreuse edge along here. You can see I got 3, but I think they should all just grow in together and be beautiful. So this at the end is one of the new plants that I got, the shrub. This is the Bluebeard Beyond Midnight, and the bees love it. There's like 8 to 10. Gosh, there might be 12 on here right now. Isn't that fun? I love the blue color. So my dilemma is the snow that comes off the roof, right? But it's my understanding that these I can cut right back down to the bottom in the spring. So that's something to look forward to seeing what happens. So as we come up the driveway, we come to my fairy garden. This little spot is my succulents. I did pull out an Artemisia from this garden here. It was just getting too big. I had another one over here, and it was getting too big, so I consolidated them. And I got another one and put them somewhere else, and I'll show you. Here is my succulent river. There's the tap that I got there. Kind of cute, eh? And it is filled in just beautifully this year. Look at how pretty that is. And it goes all the way down. I put a little bridge in. This is our troll bridge for the fairies. We got fairy houses in there. Some of them light up. Here's a little stone crop sparkler. I transplanted it here because just have to move things around a little bit to make them work. More fairies. There's my little gnome house there. Another fairy garden in the back. I just love that. I'd like to do more of that. Puxter pink, isn't she pretty? Love that. My Russian sage is doing pretty too. Everything is just, it's a newer garden. So we've had the cottage for a while, but with 3 kids, we prioritized having fun with them. And now my youngest is 26 and I'm gonna work on the garden. Here's that geranium I was talking about. There was another one and it was like barreling right over the Puxter pink, and I couldn't have that. So this year, a new addition is the Eastern Red Bud. And in my last garden tour in July, you can see I got it from a discount spot and it was not looking good. And it is come alive. I am so excited for this. So I extended the garden a bit, got some more cedar mulch. This is where I decided to put my Scottish broom that I purchased on the way up here. I'm really excited to see what that does. And behind that you can see the Artemisia. So I moved 2 Artemisias together, and then I got one on clearance at Myers for $4. And I'm thinking of doing an edging here of the Artemisia. I'll probably extend it up there all the way to the top. Nice to have white in the garden, it stands out. So here's another one of these Weigelas. I love the color. They bloom beautifully, but this one is maybe, it outgrows my bottle tree, so I have to chop it down. Then I lose the flowers, so it may get moved someday. This is my Dazzleberry sedum, and I love it. This might be my favorite perennial this year. Love that. There's a juniper. I got this on clearance years ago for $3. Look at how good it's doing. It's loving life there. More Almond Joy sedum. The Almond Joy sedums, I've been putting with some neighbors. Hello, driving by in their quads. We get a lot of ORV traffic here. There's my little fairy spot for them to have a little bonfire. Isn't that cute? So I like to decorate with the sedums, because when I put the sedums around the fairy gardens, when I pick them off and stick them in like dried flowers, they really stand up good. And I'll show you one of my fairy gardens that I did it in. Blue spruce sedum, blue spruce sedum. It's kind of spread itself a little bit, but it's so cute. I love that. That's what I gotta find, the plants that do well here and then just go with them. This one is a, what's this one? Oh, John Creech Stonecrop Lavender. This garden's coming along good, but I got some grass in here and it really takes a lot of work to get this one cleaned up. So the path here, we have a drain and it's clogged up. So we are going to have to do something on this path. I would love to make it an interlocking block or something. But since we put the metal on the roof, the snow goes right in the path. So we're not able to use this path in the winter. So I would like to take, we ended up having to snow blow around this way. So I'd like to make this a legit path here too. And I would love to have interlocking path along here and over there, and then have them meet down here together. I think that that would be really lovely. Maybe extend this garden down a little bit. Let's see what happens. We got to get a house to live in first. Here's my little pig. Brad's a pipe fitter and he made that. It's out of pipe, and I have a can of spray paint that I touch it up quite regularly, and I'll show you what I did with that spray paint when we get over to the other gardens. But at home on the Bluebird restaurant, there was some lights, and I took the tops off the lights, and now I've just set them on these logs with the moss, and I think they just look so cute. I think I'm going to do more of that. Look how cute that is. So here we are with our heucheras. Peachberry ice heuchera. So I did divide some, so some are smaller than others. This one here is glorious. Look at its color, size, and I can't wait to just do all along here in peachberry ice. And I'm thinking geraniums behind it. These ferns are really hard to keep up with. So I'll take the ferns out and put geraniums there. This is my frozen margarita. This is my favorite hosta. I love the color. I love the name. I just think it is beautiful. And I love my path. I'd like to do more fairy gardens and just make it magical. Okay. I'm gonna take you over to those entrance gardens. So this property has 2 lots. So this is kind of this is actually our address comes from this way, although the driveway comes from the other road. So I do a little garden here, and I keep this open because it is handy to get vehicles right to the door with groceries and such. We've got Bigfoot there on duty. Brad did a little touch-up maintenance on him this time so he can make it through the winter. He protects the gardens from deer. Well, he tries anyway. So I call these arborvitaes my northern Michigan topiaries. And I just love them. See where the deer's eating? I think that's awesome. When I drive around, I see them. I saw them at a golf course years ago, and I'm like, I just thought that was so cool. But they've got to get a little older and more sturdy, so I do use some repellent so that they can try to get good and strong. And then I'll stop and just let them do it. Just let them eat where they can and make my northern Michigan topiary. So I missed my alliums. These are a millennium alliums blooming, and I put those in to help with the deer pressure. And I got here and they were all brown, so I pulled out my trusty can of pink spray paint from the pig, and I sprayed these, and I think that they just look beautiful. I'm going to do that every year. I just think it's so pretty. Get the echinaceas blooming. I put some bulbs in here. My heather is getting huge. I may have to divide that, which is exciting because I'd like to have that in a lot of places. It reminds me, we went to Ireland for our 5th wedding anniversary and hiked Croagh Patrick, and it was covered in heather blooming, and it was just glorious. Here's a little fairy garden. I put some dried flowers on, and like I was saying, the sedums really held up. The lavender aren't so good, and I did use goldenrod, but the sedum, it did the best. Still pretty cute. I kind of want to do them like, you know, when companies come in, like you put flowers on the table, go out and put some flowers around the fairy garden. See the moss that's growing around my garden? So when we did put the metal on the roof, I took the moss that was on the roof and put it in a wheelbarrow and brought it over, and I put it all the way around the garden. And then it all died. I thought it died anyway. And now, look at this. I have a glorious moss. I can see, like, I gotta pick these things. It's just gonna take me some time to do that, though. And here's millennium alliums looking beautiful on this side. Some pink phlox. Lavender about done. Still d'Or lilies. Everything's looking okay. It's September. Things start pooping out. So I am kind of trying to develop a bit of a garden over here. I had some sand cherries. Here they are here. I thought they were done, but they started to pop up with the alliums being here. I got another one on this side. A couple of azaleas in here. One of them, this one's got a little bit of life to it, and that one does not. I did plant some bulbs in here, so behind it is a common lilac that's been run over by the lawnmower. It was just one of those bare root things, but it is still alive. Don't see any buds on that for, I don't know, the flower would be bigger than the plant. Put some ski poles on it so that it doesn't get run over anymore. Here's where I put my brand new rose. and I can't remember the name of it. Was it Everness? Oh, I got it for $10 at Abeli on the way up here. I don't see the tag. I think it's Everness. It's a peachy yellow rose, which I think will be really pretty. We planted this smoke bush this season and it's loving the spot. And I think the dark purple foliage with this chartreuse foliage behind it and the orange peachy yellow flowers will be beautiful. So, and I'm hoping that lilac, it's going to be a long time before that lilac gets big enough to fill in this area, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's still developing. Maybe put some grasses in here or something. I think would be really nice. So over here at the side of the house, there's a shade garden, which I've got lemon love heucheras, and I love them. I did put in some dry root astilbes behind it, and they didn't come up either. This is a Bobo hydrangea. I don't know if it's ever going to get enough sun to really do anything, but I'm not going to touch it. I had 2 of them in here, and I moved the other one, and it died. So I'm going to leave that there. It does get a little sun, so I'll just give it some time. I put the arborvitaes along here, something to try to cover that ugly tank. The deer don't seem to come over here, so this side of the garden someday I'd like to make into like a secret garden. And I see on this side some hostas, and then maybe some of the peachberry ice heucheras in here too, just to add a little interest. And then on this side, I'd like to try some Japanese maples. And the moss is everywhere, and if I could try to get this moth into the path, that would be awesome. Here's our green giant arborvitaes. We'll put them between the house because we've got like a window there and a window there. So it's just a nice screening, and I'm hoping it's going to come out of that. This is the white dogwood that we planted this year at the same time we planted the eastern redbud. I don't know, it's not loving life. Don't know if you can see it. It's really not doing so good. So I don't know. I thought I would do like a row of them along here. I thought that might be nice, but I don't know. I think they might need more water than what I can give them. So that might not happen. And here are the 2 lilac Madame Leons, the white lilacs that I planted this year. And it's got some buds. It's going to have some flowers for us in the spring. I'm very excited about that. There's another one down there. They should get nice and big, 8 to 12 feet tall, wide. And I think they'll fill in this spot really nice between the houses. I'm trying to get some understory things because all these giant trees, they're kind of dangerous. Like they're all grown in together and that, and I'm afraid they'll fall and be right on the house. So when we came up here, there was no color at all. And now the trees have started to turn red and the leaves are falling. It just like happened overnight. The moss lawn is coming along nicely. I just keep cutting it down real tight, and I'm hoping we'll get it everywhere like this. I just love it. We trimmed up some trees in here this time and kind of unveiled this oak tree right here. I didn't even know it was in there. We pulled, I don't know what kind of tree this is. This one right here with the big trunk. It's a really cool trunk. Brad thinks it's an iron tree. I don't know much about that. It is a really hard wood. It's got a bunch of suckers. There's still more behind it that we haven't cut, but I said that's enough. There's a little maple tree here too that kind of got uncovered, and the evergreens, and I think it'll all fill in nicely now that we've cleaned it up back there. Just kind of left the branches over there for next time when we have time to burn it. The kids love burning stuff, so there's no point in me doing it if they're gonna be wanting to do it anyway. So trees have just started to turn color while we're here in September. Another week, it should be glorious around here. But that's the garden here for September. Thanks for watching.